The fact that Amendment number 11 doesn't do much in the judgment of the Tarrant County officials, especially Commissioner Skeet Richardson, does not negate the problem. The fact remains that sooner or later all the land in Tarrant County is going to be incorporated by various municipalities. There are 34 of them. They are growing. So Commissioner Dick Anderson says he thinks the commission ought to go back to California. Recently, Anderson and Richardson went to the Los Angeles area and other places in California to look at juvenile detention centers. They came back, and I spent several hours visiting with them about what they found. During the course of that conversation, they noted that they were extremely excited about the way Los Angeles County is able to contract services to the many municipalities in the county and in the area. Now, Anderson says they should go back and investigate so that when the time does come, and it certainly will, Tarrant County will be ready to meet whatever problems develop for the new form of county government. In city politics over here, as you know, we have a city council election coming up on April 8th, and the problem of power politics has been injected. Harris Hoover, who is being challenged by Jess Johnston, says Johnston is definitely playing power politics in an effort to take away his seat. It's been noted, by the way, by Hoover that he enjoys a good political race, and it looks like he has one on his hands. For absentee voters, those who won't be in the city on April 8th, balloting begins next Wednesday. You can vote through April 4th on absentee ballots. We talked yesterday, you may have seen, with Gerald Ward, the administrator of secondary education in the Fort Worth Public Schools. He said that the problem which is developing between some students at I.M. Terrell and Dunbar, two of the 4 Negro schools in the city, he felt was basically a community problem. They had a meeting this evening with some school students, some school administrators, and some city officials to try to work out the problem as best they can. He says, of course, that the problem developed mainly among the youngsters, that he does not now necessarily believe that it's part of a basketball game, which one school won for the first time in a long time, but that he feels the school, the community, and some police officials will be able to get together and work out the situation without any further unfortunate incidents, such as one youth being shot to death and several others injured in altercations.
The Fair Park issue exploded into prominence when property owners, especially many of those living in this area that the city wants to buy, began complaining that they were not getting fair prices for their property, that the money offered would not buy satisfactory housing elsewhere in the city when they were displaced. Even on the present city council, opinions are divided, sometimes severely, on what should be done about Fair Park. Here are 2 candidates talking about that issue.
I think the question about whether the people are satisfied or not has been answered by the fact that many of the folks out there have voluntarily settled with the city in the prices that they have offered and have actually sold to us.
Do you feel then that accusations that the city is unjust are founded?
Yes, I think so, and I think most people in Dallas realize that these accusations are prefabricated by some of the folks who are seeking some political hay. And I think one of the questions that needs to be answered, by the way, is who heads this mysterious secret organization that has offered to purchase the property jointly with the city and relocate the folks out there.
It seems like the only thing that we can do as under existing city ordinances and under the law is to pay the fair market value for the properties we acquire. It would be my recommendation to the homeowners in that area, and there are about 46 of them left, to just sit tight and don't sell anymore.
It is true that if the city pays a dislocation allowance, which, by the way, it cannot do under the law, it would set a precedent for condemnations of property for every freeway, city building, and municipal property in the future. But the fact remains that many insist there must be a moral obligation on the part of the city to the homeowners who are losing their houses in the Fair Park area. This is Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News.
Doctor, when you do develop this omnibus space system, I say when the United States develops it, what is it going to do for local weather forecasts? Is it going to significantly improve the say the 5-day forecast?
Well, as you well know, the 5-day forecast now is not particularly accurate. It has an accuracy of perhaps 15 to 20%. The problem is that the information provided for the forecast from a great distance, for example, from the North Pacific, where the weather systems that cross Dallas originate, those data are not significant. From an omnibus satellite system where we would acquire a tremendous amount of information today and every day, you can expect an increase in precision of forecast of 50% or more, which would mean the 5-day forecast